Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start off in a cross-legged position. Bring your hands to rest on your knees or your thighs. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And take these first few moments to come into your breath and come into your body. We're going to start with a big side body bend. Crawl your right fingertips out to the right, reach your left arm up and over, but really think of rooting your left butt bone down into the ground and spin your heart open to the ceiling. Now pull your left thumb back behind you and feel a little more twist and rotation through your heart space. Bring yourself back to center and switch. Bring your left fingertips out to the left side and reach your right arm up and overhead. Plug your right butt bone down into the ground and feel that length that you can create all along the right side. Take your right hand further back behind you to the wall behind you. Spin your heart open to the ceiling. Bring yourself back to center and move to a tabletop position. Once you're in tabletop, start to move through cat and cow. So on your inhale, arch through your spine, lift your gaze. And on your exhale, press into the ground, dome through your upper back. Just starting to find a little bit of fluidity and movement here. Give yourself one more set of this cat and cow, moving through. And then bring yourself back to a neutral tabletop position. Extend your right foot back long behind you. Keep your right toes down on the ground. And take a few moments just to rock forwards and backwards here. So you're getting a little bit of stretch into your right foot, into the Achilles, into the calf. We're going to move into a modified side plank. Rotate your left shin. Keep your left hand down. Reach your right arm up and over your right ear. Now take your right thumb behind your head, further behind you, so you get a little more opening into the right side torso. Press down into the outer edge of your right foot. Breathe into this space. Push down into your left palm. Now bring yourself upright to stand on your left knee and keep traveling this to the right. So your right hand will come down to your right shin and the left arm can come up and over. You feel that space you're creating all along the left side. Breathe here. And then move yourself all the way back down to your tabletop position, and we'll take all of that on side number 2. Extend your left leg back long behind you and take a few moments just to rock forwards and backwards, finding a little bit of opening into the foot, the toes, the calf, the Achilles. And now move into your modified side plank. So rotate your right shin, keep your right hand down, reach your left arm up, and then bring your left arm over your left ear. Now think of your left hand going back behind you like you're trying to spin both of your hips up towards the ceiling. Actively push your right palm down into the mat. Think of your left foot, the outer edge of your left foot pressing down into the ground. Really create that point of contact. Slowly bring yourself up and then keep moving so your left hand comes down to your left shin. Your right arm comes up and over. And then think of the right arm traveling back behind you so you get a little more opening into your right side body. Breathe into that space that you are creating. Nice big breaths in and out. And now slowly bring yourself all the way back down, back to your tabletop position. From tabletop, extend your right leg back long behind you. Extend your left leg and hold in a high plank for a few breaths. Press into your palms, spread your fingers wide, lengthen through the back of your neck. Roll over onto your left hand for a side plank. Only for a moment here, lift your top leg up and then step it halfway forward. Keep pushing down into your bottom left hand, reach your right arm over your right ear, and now try to pull your right thumb back behind you. So it's like you're trying to spin your heart open towards the ceiling. You're gonna feel a little more opening into your outer right glute. Breathe into that space, keep pushing up. Bring both of your hands down. Keep your right foot outside of your 2 hands. And then just take a moment here. Let your torso be heavy. Take a bend of your elbows. Keep your back knee lifted. Breathe. Maybe give yourself an easy rock forwards and backwards. Allow your torso to get heavier, allow your head to be heavy. And then step your left foot forward to a ragdoll forward fold. Soften through your knees here, shake your head yes and no. Allow yourself to be heavy. Take this into a twist. Bring your left hand between your feet. Extend your right arm up to the ceiling. And then really try to rotate your bottom rib cage, your left rib cage up towards the ceiling. Lengthen through the crown of your head forward. And then switch. Bring your right hand down and reach your left arm up. And with that, bend your right knee a lot so you can really lean your torso back and over to the right. Rotate your chest space up towards the ceiling. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Take a full big breath in. And on your exhale, bring your left hand back down. You're back in your ragdoll. Soften through your knees and slowly roll yourself to stand. Stack through your vertebrae. Stack through your spine, your shoulders, your chin, and your gaze will be last to arrive. When you get to your standing position, bring your right hand to your right hip, reach your left arm up, and take a big side body bend up and over to the right. Continue to press down into your left foot. Pull your left thumb back behind you to get a little more rotational action into the torso. Bring your body up to stand and we will switch. So bring your left hand to your hip, reach your right arm up and over, and now tip yourself over to the left. And then really think of your right foot actively pushing down into the ground. Pull your right thumb back behind you. Try to spin your heart open to the ceiling. Breathe into this space that you're creating all along the right side. Bring yourself back up. And on your exhale, forward fold. Open through your arms, bring your body down. Soften through your knees, find a halfway lift. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Bring your hands down once again. Step your left foot far back behind you. Lower your left knee down to the mat. Bring your hands to come and rest on your front right thigh. Notice what's going on with the shoulders, any tension you might be feeling. Try to release that by finding a little bit of movement there. And then you can bring your right forearm to your right thigh for a side body bend, or you can bring your right fingertips down to the ground. Continue to push your hips forward. And just as we've been playing with, take your left thumb and think of pulling it a little bit further back behind you so you can really rotate your heart space open to the ceiling. Bring both of your hands down and outside of your right leg and start to straighten as best as you can through that right leg and rotate your torso over to the right. Option to stay there, option to add a twist by extending your right fingertips up to the ceiling. So you're really actively pushing down into the left palm. This can be a lot for your outer right thigh and IT band. Just send breath into that space. And slowly revolve yourself back to a low lunge. Flip your back toes and find a three-legged dog. Send your right leg up into the air. Bend your right knee, open your hip. Maybe allow a little bit of movement into the hip and the knee. And replace your right foot down, downward facing dog. We're gonna set all of that up on the second side. Give yourself a few moments of breath in your downward facing dog. Lengthen through the backs of your legs. And roll yourself forward to a high plank position. Take 3 big breaths here just to build a little bit of heat in the core. Lengthen through the back of your neck. And now rotate onto your right palm. So you're moving into a side plank, right hand is down, left arm is up and over. Now step your left foot up and then forward. So it's crossing in front of you. Continue to push down into your right hand and then reach your left arm up and over your left ear. And now think of pulling your left hand back behind you. So it's like you're really trying to spin your heart open to the ceiling. Breathe into this space that you can create into your outer left hip and side body. Rotate your torso back down to the mat so both of your hands are inside of your left foot. Now you can soften through your elbows and allow your torso and your head to be nice and heavy. And take a very gentle rock forwards and backwards. Take a little bit of movement in your jaw and your head. And now step your right foot up, move into a forward fold, ragdoll forward fold. Soften through your knees. Take this twist again. Bring your right hand down, bend your right knee, reach your left arm up. Like someone's taking your left fingertips, pulling you up towards the ceiling. And then switch. Your left hand comes down to the ground, bend your left knee, and extend your right arm up. Peel your heart space open to the ceiling. Let your right hand come back behind you. And then bring your right hand down to the ground. You're back in a forward fold. Soften through your knees and slowly, slowly roll yourself up to stand. Stack through the vertebrae, shoulders, chin, and gaze is last to arrive. We're taking our side bends again. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling and then side bend yourself to the right. Plug your left foot down into the mat. Try to find that spin of your heart space open towards the ceiling. Bring yourself back to stand and we switch sides. So your left hand will come to your left hip. Your right arm will come up and overhead. And push your hips as much as you can over to the right. Maintain weight into the right foot. Bring yourself back up to stand, both arms up, and find forward fold. Soften through your knees, inhale, find halfway lift. Bring your hands down and now step your right foot far back behind you. Lower your right knee down to the mat. Bring your hands to come and rest on your front left thigh. Taking an opportunity to target into your front right hip flexor. Push the hips forward. Find a little bit of movement around the shoulders. Make sure you're not locking into your shoulders. Take this into a side body bend. So your left forearm is on your left thigh or your left fingertips are out to the side, and then tip yourself up and over to the left. Try to pull your right thumb back behind you. Really spin your heart open to the ceiling. Continue to push your hips forward. Take big breaths in and full breaths out. And then bring both of your hands so they come outside of your left thigh. Pull your hips back and try to straighten your left leg as best as you can. And if you can't get that leg all the way straight, it's no big deal. We want to target into the outer thigh IT band. If you'd like to add a twist, unfurl your left fingertips towards the ceiling and continue to actively press down into your right palm. Lengthen through the crown of your head. And then slowly bring yourself back to a low lunge at the front of your mat. Flip your back toes, three-legged dog, send your left leg up into the air. Bend your left knee, open your hip. Maybe find a little bit of easy movement. And then bring your left foot back down to the ground, back into a downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, lower your knees down to the ground and come to sit. We're going to move into a half straddle. Extend your right leg out to the side and bend your left knee in. Now take a moment to very gently push your left knee down to the ground, kind of lean away from it. Now sit up nice and tall, feel both of your butt bones rooted. Bring your right hand to your left ankle or shin, and then reach your left arm up and over. So you're coming into a side body bend. And as we've been emphasizing throughout this session, take your top arm and try to pull it back behind you so you can really spin your heart space open towards the ceiling. Find full big breaths in, full big breaths out. Bring yourself back up, and we switch to the other side. Extend your left leg, bend your right knee. Take a moment to very, very gently push your right knee into the ground, kind of lean away from it. And then take your side body bend. You can attach your bottom left hand to your right shin or knee. That's gonna add some extra leverage there if you choose to take it. Try to rotate your heart space open towards the ceiling. Feel that length along both sides of your waist. Breathe in. Breathe out. And slowly bring yourself back up. From here, we're gonna come all the way down onto your back. Bring your feet so they're flat. Bring your hands behind your thighs. Roll yourself all the way down. Pull your knees into your chest. Cactus or tee out your arms and bring your knees over to the right for a twist. And then adding onto this twist, grab your right wrist with your left hand and pull it over to the left. So you're creating even more of a twist and side body stretch. Really allow your knees to be heavy in one direction, and then try to pull your torso away from it. Breathe into your belly and come back to center, and we'll switch sides. So the knees can now fall over to the left, and then grab your left wrist with your right hand and pull yourself over to the right. You're kind of finding a little more diagonal range. Breathe into your belly. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. Pull your knees into your chest. Catch on behind your thighs. Rock and roll yourself up to a seated cross-legged position. This is where we'll end today, the same way that we began. Bring your hands to rest on your knees. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze, and give yourself just a few final moments. Come back into your breath. Come back into your body. Thank you for joining us today. And that's your flow.